Living life like a savage, but yeah, they go pop. Yeah,
what up? Did not expect to be up this late, but here's how the night went. So I knew I had to fill this tonight because I'm going to be gone a lot of the day tomorrow. But we are going to post some stuff because I will be available tomorrow night. But we have a dentist appointment. You know, I don't know how many of you guys take your kids to the dentist, but in our area, the closest pediatric dentist is an hour and 15 minutes away. It's at Penn State University. It's an hour and 15 minutes from me. I'm that close to Penn State. Maybe a little further, give or take, 15, 20 minutes, depending on traffic. But, so we got to do that tomorrow. Wife had to take a day off of work to do it. But tonight, I was ready. We were all doing our family thing. Because, you know, this is our Friday. Because tomorrow we won't have really a Friday. But my kid says, "You're on your phone a lot." I'm like, I know. So in order to alleviate that guilt I had, he and I played a little Fortnite. Well, we got like a third, and I was like, "Come on, dude, we got this." And then we got a first, we got a victory royale, and then I was like, "Dude, we got to run it back." And then we got a second. I'm like, "All right, let's go. We can do this." Another one, and we got 33rd, and then I was like, "Ooh, this might fill." So then I was like, all right. He turned it off. He's like, "Dad, I'm tired. Let's watch a movie." I'm like, all right. I was like, and then I saw you guys are filling it. Big shout out to Lonnie, by the way, who came in, and I didn't think it was going to happen, honestly. But y'all came in and filled it. Yeah. So we played one more. We got 5th on that one, and that was the night. But I wanted to rip this because now, I'm very cautious. I've told you guys before. I'm very cautious to believe everything I see online. But I'm seeing a ton of kabooms come out of this. Of the Mega. So I bought a case of Megas for that reason. Trey Tucker and Blackman. There's a Brock Purdy. Because I do feel like if you buy a sealed case, there's a Bijan and a Debo. I feel like if you buy a sealed case, you have a much better chance of hitting one. So I was like, you know what? F it. Let's do it. So we will rip through the case. And I promise you, I thought of this tonight. I was like, man, I kind of want to rip one. In the event that I rip one, I'm going to, if I happen to pull the kaboom, I will post it. You can trust me. I assure you. And we'll give it as a prize to someone who was in any of the blaster stuff. But I don't, the Mega stuff, I mean. Will Levis. But I don't know if I'm going to rip one. I kind of want to rip. It just depends how quick we can fill them. There's a Drew Brees swatch. Championship fabric. Going out to the Saints. Not a name you see very often anymore. Dude, You did? I'm seeing a lot of Stroud kabooms come out of it. Now, that's naturally going to make the value of them come down a bit. But not enough to... Listen, there's just not enough of them out there to make them drop that much. Because I'd like one. I like Stroud. I'm excited for him as a player. He's probably my favorite player that's come into the league in a long time that wasn't a Bill. And part of it's his like religious beliefs, or at least the way he presents himself. He presents his like vibe. He thanks the right people, says the right things, and it doesn't feel phony. I just feel like he seems like a good dude. And not only that, it seems like he's leading that team in the right direction. A lot of the other guys on his team are exemplifying the same behaviors. And I like that, man. I like that kind of vibe. And so I hate the fact that he's another AFC foe because, like, it's not like Patrick Mahomes isn't enough. Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Tua, like, we got all these dudes, and then the NFC's deal with, like, Dak Prescott, Jared Goff, I mean, Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's that dude. Oh, we got Lamar Jackson in the AFC, the MVP. The AFC is just... And look. I think... I know this is come off the wrong way. I think the Niners are the better team. if you go back and watch that tape, there's no reason outside of the fact that Mahomes is just pure magic. He's phenomenal. Mahomes is the best player in the league. But the Niners were a far better team. That just shows you the value of Mahomes. I won't get into, all the arguments of maybe the other things that happened. There's a Bijan. Ooh, let's talk about this guy in a minute. But, we have him in the AFC. Ooh, what's this? DJ Turner out of $4.99. We're getting some number stuff in this. Now, there is what I like about the Megas is they are double the price of the blasters, but you're guaranteed a swatch. Now, we did get a few swatches in the blaster, but I don't know if we got many numbered cards, and we already got one numbered. And we got two nice patches, Marvin Mims and Drew Brees. So you're guaranteed a swatch. And believe it or not, it shows those tend to do pretty well. Oh, yeah, Niner. I didn't even think of you as a Niner. Nate, it wasn't even directed at you. Dude, that was not even directed at you. I swear, I completely forgot. Not even looking at your name, completely forgot. I don't know why I wasn't thinking that. Didn't mean to bring it up. I probably would not have brought it up had I known that you were, had I thought of it. But it was one of the better Super Bowls I've seen in a long time. Probably the best since the Eagles, Pat Super Bowl. Stetson Bennett. Probably my favorite Super Bowl since the Eagles, Pat Super Bowl with, where the Philly special. Hey, Dalton Kincaid. There we go. Sharp looking card. Introductions. So the only thing I'll say about the no hold calls is the fact that Kansas City led the league in offensive line holds this year. And then I saw that they have, in the last 3 times they appeared in the Super Bowl, have never once been called for an offensive line hold. And look, it may be true. Maybe they just like they have 2 weeks to prep for that game. If I'm being all complete, if I'm taking my feelings out of it, if I really want to get down to the quote unquote science of it, they may have just been better conditioned, better coached, better trained, better prepared. But I find it very hard that if you are, like, statistically speaking, if you're looking at the straight statistics of it all, I find it very hard to believe that if you were the number one team in offensive line holds in the league, that you didn't hold one time in the game. We saw the pictures. We know what happened. But we also know there were calls on both sides that were missed. And I feel like when I talk about standard deviation, I'm going to talk about this card, that's why I sleeved it. When I talk about standard deviation or, like, the law of averages, when you talk about holds, like, I'll go back to make it more personal, the Bills-Chiefs game. There were a couple calls that they missed. There were probably 3 or 4 they missed on the Chiefs, 1 or 2 they missed on the Bills. And they were nothing like the Rams-Saints game back in the day with the pass interference. They were nothing egregious, if you will, I feel like maybe there was a little bit more discrepancy in the Super Bowl, but not enough to make me like, that game was rigged. I don't feel that way. But I do feel like maybe, just maybe, when you talk about a script, I always say, I don't believe the NFL is scripted, but I do believe it's controlled. And that right there is an example of control. If you want to get into the script mentality, where was the blocks on Chris Jones? Like, they didn't block. They just let him come through, and I just don't understand that. That's where my mind's like, was it? Is it? Is it a little bit? Like, because that's all it takes. Like, they can't control. Like, look, if you go to the WWE, there are times where a guy was supposed to win and he didn't. Because they couldn't. Like, something happened. He fell, he tripped, he broke his leg. And, like, they're like, roll with it. We'll figure it out. We'll write something else into the script, right? So, like, if McCoy, for example, at the end of the game, let's say that play was scripted because you saw Andy Reid going through all the plays. Let's just say that McCole Hardman drops that ball and there's no time on the clock. Niners win. They roll with it. There's always next season. Didn't go as the way we planned. We'll spin it. We deal with it. McCole Hardman still has to catch that easy pass. But we've seen guys drop that, right? We've seen that happen. So there's just this, like, element of, like, there still has to be, everything has to fall into place. That's all I'll say. But Did you see Justin Jefferson, of course, coming up on free agency? Big name. Says he wants the money. And also came out and said that his decision to stay with Minnesota will have a lot to do with the quarterback. At the same time, in that same breath, he was saying he is a big fan of Kirk Cousins. I think part of that's because he knows that Kirk Cousins isn't going to get the money that maybe some of these other quarterbacks, and he throws to him. Dude, we're going to have a random at the end of this. Look at this. Drake May, 1 out of 4. That's going to be a big card. We are going to have to random that at the end. He's going to be a high pick. So everyone, even if you're in here and you don't have a good team or you're not sure, if you hit, you'll have a chance at that Drake May. 6 out of 6, Joe Tippmann going out to the New Jersey Jets. Well, did you see the thing I posted on the page with Andy Reid today, the voiceover? Lucas Van Ness of the Green Bay Packers, 6 out of 7. If you didn't, you got to go to the page and see what the voiceover. For the Arizona Cardinals out of 35, Paris Johnson Jr. going out to Larry. Nice autograph on him. And Cameron Peoples, 3 out of 5 for the Carolina Panthers. Lonnie, glad you got something on your teams there. Again, Lonnie, I appreciate you coming in so we could rip this tonight. Because there was like very, very unlikely chance this didn't get ripped till like, very likely chance, I should say, this didn't get ripped till like 7 o'clock tomorrow. Another 1 out of 4, Buffalo Bills. Lonnie, I'll tell you what, you grabbed a few extra spots. I'm going to make you an up trade on this. I know this isn't worth a ton, but let me know who your team is, who you're PCing right now. We'll get you something of extra value because I do want this card. I'm willing to pay up on it, so let me know. I know I got to sometimes do the same thing for Dougie when he pulls cards that I like too. I actually owe him a little bit. He sent me a nice James Cook autograph this week and a Dalton Kincaid and a Terrell Bernard, none of which I had. So I'm going to owe Dougie something here. J.L. Skinner, I believe that's New Orleans Saints. Dougie always looking out for me. He gets in other breaks other than ours. And none of the cards he sent me were in our breaks. And I'm like, oh no, that goes out to the Broncos. Denver Broncos going out to Tay Taylor. So I appreciate Doug always looking out. And it's going to be for the Vikings, Mekhi Blackman, Minnesota Vikings, Richard, 2 out of 2. That purple looks so good on that card. Hey, that's how I write my signature pretty much. It's crazy. I didn't even notice it. A little bit ago, look at this. Everyone's going to be eligible for this one again. Drake May. Look at that, out of 4. So here's what's crazy about this. Not a ton of Drake May autos out there. There are some. Historically, there weren't going to be any until close to the draft. There are some, but leading up to the draft, it's going to be a mega valuable card. And it's in the UNC, jersey. It's not like it's just like a street photo. So that'll be an interesting card. Super big value there. I will tell you what, that's probably going to end up being one of the most valuable cards out of that wild card set. Although there's Brock Purdy's and there's CJ Stroud. That Drake May sold at the right time. Drake May goes to the Jets. Patriots is what you mean. All right. Cheers to you guys. So my wife and I did some drinks tonight since she doesn't have to work tomorrow. We're taking the kids, like I said. But I did some Jack and Cokes. I did use Gentleman Jack. Upped it a little bit. But I felt like when I drink a Jack and Coke, I have to drink it out of one of those plastic cups sometimes. Like when you're at one of the dingy bars. I feel like I always order a Jack and Coke. If the floors are sticky, it's a Jack and Coke for me. Or a bottled beer. I'm not drinking out of the taps generally. I'm not ordering anything fancy. So, cheers. I know. I don't have any red solos, but that'll play. The plastic cups are just as good. Sad to see the way, it's just, that's a reminder to us all that life, it doesn't matter, fame, fortune, money, friends, it all goes away, so enjoy the time you have. Man, this is like the second or third time we've seen this. Again, nothing major here. Base cards, Patrick Mahomes, A.J. Brown, but very big crease lines in those. Deontay Banks, Kenny Pickett, numbered out of 175, and Amon Ra. Now, something people don't know. I've heard people complaining about, Panini and their print lines. And Panini messing up their production and quality control. Something you guys need to understand. And this was in the New York Times. I had heard this, and it had been confirmed through multiple sources for me. But part of the reason we had delays in production for a while is Topps / Fanatics. When Fanatics bought Topps, they went out and bought all the printing facilities that was printing Panini's cards. Now, I don't know if that goal was to just stop production, but they weren't allowed for whatever reason. Or whatever, I don't know what's all going on with that. But if you have issues with your printing in either Topps, Fanatics, or Panini, understand they are all getting printed in the same facilities, and they are all owned by Fanatics. So before you're like, I can't wait until Fanatics takes over because then we won't have print lines and we won't have this. Listen, they're all getting printed in the same facilities. Read the article in the New York Times. Dak Prescott out of 99 and a gold Michael Mayer out of 75 for the Raiders going out to Lonnie. So I heard an interesting play on the draft today. So here's my thing. If it were me, and again, I don't know how things go, but the Bears should get Marvin Harrison Jr., right? Unless they want to trade out for multiple picks, go offensive tackle, maybe get a different wide receiver. So there's no way Marvin Harrison Jr. falls to 5. There's just no way, right? But I heard a theory today. This is not on a Bills page. This is on a Cardinals page. And for whatever reason, because it was tagged the Bills, it came across my feed. But essentially saying that the Cardinals want to give up their 5th pick for Stephon Diggs, which would be a dumb trade to begin with. So, and the Bills would be, there's a SP Silver Chubb, Austin Eckler, numbered out of 150, and a Nick Bosa SP. So that the Bills can then get Marvin Harrison Jr. at 5th. There is just no way in any mock scenario that Marvin Harrison Jr. goes to 5. To me, it would be that the Bears trade out a 1 for number 2 or 3. And then they take Marvin Harrison Jr. And then whatever trade they get in return as well, on top of it, they go offensive tackle, which is what their needs. That is their need. I get it, they're going to have to pay Fields. But teams have to stop trying to draft the next QB. They got him. They have the guy. They have Fields. I get it. He's kind of coming. Oh, that's an SP color burst. Look at that for the Tampa Bay Bucks. Chad. I know, Chad, you told me you don't have good luck in randos, but that's a nice card. I don't know that people appreciate the value of that, but that's a very cool card. If that was a Bills, I would offer you good money. I agree. Again, I don't see in any universe where he goes less than that. There's a Roshan Johnson out of 199 rookie for the Chicago Bears, Chris. Well, here's the thing, Zach. I don't think they need to give him Deshaun Watson contract. I don't think they need to give him Kyler Murray contract. But they're going to have to give him money. And the reason being is that he's going to get paid by somebody. And I don't know why you don't want a guy who has a strong arm, Jaren Hall, and there is a look at that Eagles, Don Wiley, 4 color. That's a sharp, solid patch and card. Numbered out of 75, Tanner McKee. Who knows? This dude may end up getting a chance the way the Eagles fans feel about of Jalen Hurts. But Zach, I'm good with that. Franchise him. Bring in Marvin Harrison Jr. Bring in an offensive tackle. Give him, here's an example. Give him what they gave Trevor Lawrence. And then if he looks like Trevor Lawrence, don't pay him. Because to me, they gave Trevor Lawrence everything he could have asked for. They gave him Christian Kirk. They gave him a good tight end. It was Evan Engram, which is a serviceable tight end. They gave him good running backs in Travis Etienne, and they brought in someone else. They have weapons there. The fact is, Trevor Lawrence has been given weapons, and they did finally get him a coach. Now, I feel like, what's his name? The college coach that kicked the kicker and everything. There's a Bijan Silver and Jalen Hurts out of 99. Christian McCaffrey, short print. But I'm with you. Franchise him, and Justin Fields needs to take the Lamar Jackson approach. I'm going to bet on myself. I'll play. He doesn't really have a choice if they franchise tag him. But the problem then becomes you have about a 2 to 3 year window where until those rookies you just drafted, your offensive tackle, Marvin Harrison Jr., comes up for contracts, and then you're dealing with a whole other scenario where you have about a 2-3 year window to win. And you're seeing teams go that approach more, right? You're seeing a lot more teams like the Rams approach. Hey, we're selling the farm to win this year. And if we get an extra year out of it, there's a Nick Chubb fired up. And another Bijan out of 150 for the Falcons, Lonnie. Some nice stuff there, the silver and this numbered one. But you're seeing a lot more teams be like, look, there's no such thing as a salary cap. We got to win now. Max out all the credit cards, right? Let's see what we can do. And you're seeing a lot more teams do that, and I don't necessarily blame them. Jonathan Taylor out of 199. Nick Chubb playing with fire. Eckler, Lawrence, and there he is, the guy we love, Adetomiwa Adebawore for the Colts. But here's the thing, though. You can't look at wins and losses, and then that's the end-all, be-all. There's a Travis Kelce SP. Because if they didn't provide the weapons for him, and look, if there's that's out of 99, 66 out of 99. That's kind of cool, the inverse there. If you just look at wins and losses, and you didn't give the guy weapons, and then shame on you as a franchise. You're never going to win. Oh, well, we drafted a great quarterback. We gave him all this money. He went 4-13, and he should have done better. That was the Bills' approach for so long. A lot of those games on his shoulders, but listen, if you put a lot of other quarterbacks in that position and the things he had to do, they would have been, they could have been the Lions 0-16, 0-17 for a couple years. I believe that. And maybe I'm saying that because I see what Josh Allen has to do. But there's a Tyreek Hill out of 125. I don't believe that you could even have put, I would say over 20 quarterbacks, starting quarterbacks in the league, had to go into what Justin Fields had in the Bears. They win 0 games. I believe that the Bills too. It's so easy to be like, Josh Allen had interceptions. If you throw about 20 to 25 quarterbacks in Josh Allen's position, we're the old Bills with 7 wins. You know what I mean? If we have Kenny Pickett, if we have, Jimmy Garoppolo, if we have Tua has a ton of what everyone's like, Tua is a great quarterback. Dude, the guy has quite arguably the best offense in the league. He has the leading running back in touchdowns, the best rookie running back in Devin Achane, quite possibly the top 2 receivers as a wide receiver 1 and a wide receiver 2, and Tyreek Hill is a wide receiver 1, and Jalen Waddle, who would be a wide receiver 1 on so many other teams, right? So don't give me this Tua is so good garbage. I'm not going to buy it. because you had the defense, you had the offense, and you guys still couldn't beat the Bills to win the division? I'm not buying it. Schoonmaker patch. I won't buy it. Oh, yeah, and their line was ranked number 1 in the league there temporarily. But they did, now listen, they did suffer some injuries at the end of the season. And I keep hearing that from fans. Oh, if our line would have blah, 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 blah. I get it. If ifs and maybes. I don't buy it. Listen, if our defense would have stayed healthy for the whole season, we would have been Super Bowl champs. Like, it's easy to say that. If we didn't lose, Micah Hyde and Trey White every season for the last 2 seasons, for like most of the season, Bryce Young there. It's so easy to say that. Nick Bosa, short print silver. And for the Denver Broncos, Tay Taylor's. Grant Nuts, be your uncle. That's a good, I like that. I'm pulling this dude. This dude's going to be all right. Rookie Marvin Mims, Denver Broncos, Tay Taylor. Nice card there. So, I just, listen, you have to have depth, and you have to have a Mahomes. And that's what everyone's saying. Like, look, Mahomes had Rashee Rice and, MVS, and, he had Kelsey. And as much as Kelsey likes to believe he's the dude on that team, and he is good, he is aging, and he is not as good as he once was. He does enough to get it done. He has enough rapport, but he is 1 year away from being a Rob Gronkowski on the sidelines talking shit. And unfortunately, I don't even think he has the poise that Rob Gronkowski does. I mean, have you seen this guy? Did we get an extra hit? Jahmyr Gibbs out of 250. Another one there. Baker Mayfield. I don't know what these creases are about. Charbonnet and a Devontae Adams prism there. Oh, if he three-peats, Andy Reid and him are both going out. I agree with you. I think him and Reid are both done next year regardless. I think if they lost, they might have just called it and just went on their merry way. But they won, and Mahomes is like, dude, we got to try this again. And I think that's where it's better to be at what the saying goes, better to be a year early than a year late. A day early than a day late kind of thing. If things go south, Travis Kelce gets hurt, they don't bring in the right people, Andy Reid just gets mentally and physically exhausted, which he did. You could tell there were moments that he was. It could be one of those times where the Super Bowl champions don't make the playoffs. And that's hard to say when you have Mahomes. But we've seen it before. Well, and that's what I'm saying, Zach. It could be the year that the wheels do fall off. But again, don't bet against them. You can't bet against them until they give you a reason to bet against them. And that's going to take a lot to bet against them, Guys, don't go anywhere because we do have some nice stuff here. We have this Drake Mader random all plus $2 $5 hitless credits. Guys, I appreciate you filling. Big shout out to all of you that got in. Lonnie, thank you for coming in, grabbing those last couple spots so we could do this tonight. We got Jahmyr Gibbs out of 250, Devontae Adams. We have the Bryce Young Contours, Nick Bosa short print silver. Tyreek Hill out of 125, Bryce Young rookie rising. Jonathan Taylor out of 199, Tony Pollard out of 99, Bijan out of 150, Bijan silver, Jalen Hurts playing with fire out of 99, Rashawn Johnson out of 199, Mike Evans short print color burst, Nick Chubb silver short print, Austin Eckler out of 150, Dak Prescott playing with fire out of 99, or flamethrowers, I mean. Michael Mayer yellow out of 75. Kenny Pickett flamethrowers out of 175. Dalton Kincaid introductions and DJ Turner out of 499. Some nice stuff there for sure. For our hits, we had for the Cowboys, Schoonmaker going out too. Dallas is going to be Dougie Burger. We have the Marvin Mims patch for the Denver Broncos for Tay, but you weren't done. You got something nice. And for the Saints, Drew Brees, Super Bowl swatch, Ricky Stotler getting that one. Joe Tipman for the New Jersey Jets, Zach McCarthy. Thanks for coming in and chatting tonight, Zach. Lucas Van Ness for the Green Bay Packers going out to CT. He'll be breaking with you this weekend. Cameron Peoples for the Carolina Panthers. Lonnie getting one on there. And then the Paris Johnson Jr. Arizona Cardinals. Larry Livingston getting that one. J.L. Skinner, that goes out to, I had said the Saints, but it's actually the Denver Broncos. You got another one there, Tay. And then we'll talk about this one there, Lonnie. Message me and remind me if you're interested in moving that. Terrell Bernard, 2 out of 4. Mekhi Blackman, 2 out of 2 for the Minnesota Vikings, going out to Richard Myler. And then they had the Marvin Mims out of 20 for Denver. And look at that swatch. 2 stitches, but 4 colors. Philadelphia Eagles, Don Wiley out of 75. But before we do the hitless credits, we got this Drake May out of 4. Get a sip of this before we do it. Good luck, everybody. Here we go. Everyone's eligible. Drake May out of 4. Going to be a valuable card. I mean, unless you're a UNC fan or you anticipate your team drafting him, this is one of those cards that's going to be a sell. And I'm telling you, if you time this right, it could be a wild sale. It really could. So good luck to everyone. I'd be curious. Whoever wins this, let me know what you do with it. Let me know how it turns out for you. Final round. Carolina Panthers. Lonnie. Well, Lonnie, you had 1/4 of the teams. So glad to see that paid off for you. Played the odds there. 25% chance to hit it. And it's, I guess, appropriate that he's UNC and you got Carolina, so kind of fitting in a way. 2 $5 hitless credits. Here we go. One. Oops, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Give me the Raiders and the Browns. So Jason Franklin and Lonnie with the $5 credit. Guys, be on the lookout for a basketball break and a baseball break tomorrow. We're going to sell them during the day, and I'm starting fantasy leagues. So be prepped for that, and we'll go from there, all right? Appreciate you guys very much. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.